y'all, and welcome to today's video. I'm very excited because I have the Dark Fantasy palette from Beauty Bay. This palette I'm very excited for. It was only $18. I ordered it from Beauty Bay. I really like Beauty Bay palettes. I have a lot of their palettes. I think they're a great price point. I think they do some really interesting color stories, and they have a really pretty eyeshadow formula. So I'm excited. We're going to create two different eye looks today. We're going to swatch this beautiful palette, but I think the color story is so pretty. And if this is the Beauty Bay formula that I know and love, I could see this potentially being my favorite palette from them because the color story is just right up my alley. I love that we have these green tones. We have just a few neutrals. We have a beautiful silver, some purples, some blues. I think this is a really, really nice curation of colors. I love that it goes from light to dark. So what we're going to do today is we're going to swatch it. We're going to create two eye looks, and I'm going to let you know what I think of this palette. And if you are new here, I want to say, hey, my name is Heather, and makeup makes me happy. Here at my channel, we don't try to be perfect. We just want to have a good time with our makeup, whatever that means. I do upload lots of new videos every single week, so I hope that you will subscribe before you leave today. But I can't wait to try this palette out, so let's jump into it. Like I said, I did order this palette from Beauty Bay's site. It was $18. I want to show you a close-up of the palette before I touch it, swatch it, anything like that, because I think this color story looks really, really interesting. I will link this palette down below, but looking at it, I really like this format. If I'm looking at Beauty Bay palettes, their 20 color palettes like this are usually my favorite, and I like when they do curated color stories like this. It looks like we have a nice amount of mattes and shimmers and some different formulas in here. I will pop up swatches on my arm so that you can see how it swatches out. But we're going to create two eye looks, and we're going to do them at the same time because I want to use different shades, but I want to use like the same techniques, and I want to make sure like I'm placing the colors in the same place from eye to eye. So yeah, I'm really like this green. It's calling to me. It looks so beautiful. I'm ready to play with it. Now, you've seen the close-up. You've seen the swatches. I want to know if this is the Beauty Bay formula that I enjoy. So I'm going to prime my eyes. I'm going to zoom you in nice and close, and we will create. Okay, so my eyes are primed, and what I want to do is start over here. We're going to start with Spaced, this really dark green, and then I want to buff out with the shade Slime. Okay, so I'm going to take this dark green Spaced, and I'm putting this right out here in the outer portion of my eye, and I'm going to bring it in almost halfway, but not quite halfway, and then down to the lash line. And I'm pressing the shadow on first, and then I'll go back and blend, but I really, really want that to be intensely dark green. So I'm packing first, and then I'm lightly blending. All right, I'm picking up the color Slime, and I'm gonna go in to the front half of my crease. I'm pressing the shadow on first, and then I'm blending up and around. And I'm gonna take this and start going on top of that darker green shade like this. So first I'm going to press the pigment on because I want this to be dramatic. I want it to be green, so I'm going to press here. And I picked this larger brush because I want to cover a lot of area. And I want it, like I said, I want it to be colorful and out there. So once I have it packed how I want it, then I'm going to go back and I'm just going to take my time buffing this outer edge like this. Nothing too serious. and then I'll come and I'll start working on blending these two greens together out here. So I'm going to go back and forth with the two different brushes. It's going to look crazy for a little while, but we're just going to keep blending, keep blending. I'm even going to take the brush that I used for slime. I'm going to dip into the matte white shade. It's called Atmosphere, and I'll use that too to transform this to a lighter green. And I'm really, like I said, just going to take my time and blend, blend, blend. Okay, so I've got this nice and dramatic how I want it. I'm loving this. For this over here, I want to use a Hardcore, this matte navy shade, and then I want to buff it out with Plasma, this more like muted green, and then of course I'll use the matte white Atmosphere again, just like I did over here, but we're going to use the exact same techniques. Now, the two brushes that I used over here, this is the Sigma Samantha Ravindell Detailed Blending Brush, and then I used a E25 for the rest. So I'm going to, I don't have two of those Samantha brushes, so I'm going to see what I have. Okay, so over here, I'll use an E42 from Sigma and another E25. And I'm going to pick up that Hardcore shade. Oh, I forgot to prime this out. Let me prime it, and then we'll go in with Hardcore. All right, so I've got that shade Hardcore, and I'm going to do the same thing, just kind of packing that pigment on, because we'll blend it out in just a bit, but I want to make sure I have kind of like, it's almost like a C shape a little bit that I'm making right out here, and then I'm just lightly bringing it in. Okay, now I'm going into Plasma, and I'm going to pack first. So just packing and then buffing and blending like this, and then pressing it along the edges again. Just like pressing, and then I will start to buff and blend, and I will mix in that matte white shade as I go. That's why I really like matte white and matte black in a palette, because they're such good shades to mix and take an existing shade you have and make it either lighter or darker. But I'm just going to work on blending, blending, blending. These blended super easily because I'm using just greens, but since I'm working over here with more green and blue tones, it's probably going to require me to spend just a couple of extra minutes blending, which is completely fine. Okay, so I'm loving the way this came together. This shade really transformed when it was mixed in with that navy and that white. Like, doesn't this look like a completely different color? I'm so feeling it. I think Beauty Bay mattes are really, really nice. But what I want to do on the lower lash line for both looks actually is to put Virtual, this black with the sparkle. I really like mattes that have a little sparkle to them. I know some people don't like that. I really like that. I think it's just cool. But I want to put that really close to the lash line. And then for over here for this green eye, I want to buff it out with Grunge, the matte purple. And over here for this eye, I want to buff it out with Reality, this like wine color. Okay, so I've got this on like an angled brush from Sigma, and I'm just going to like press it up against the lower lash line, but I'm not going to blend it because I want to do that with color. So I'm just getting this right up against the lash line like that. So I almost want it to be like I put on a thick liner or something down there, and then it's going to transform. It would be pretty too if I took the navy and did that. You know, the look would be a little more like, not monochromatic necessarily, but I just want to add in some more shades because I really want to play with as many shades in this palette as possible. So I thought it would be fun to add in those additional colors, but it would be easier like to blend and things if I went with these same shades, of course, because it would just be like not difficult at all to get the shades to flow. But I wanna have some fun. I wanna play with more colors. So I've got this purple on a Sigma brush, and I'm gonna start off just by blending this a little bit right under the lash line. So I'm not packing this color at all. I'm going straight in and blending, but I'm just going to take my time, making sure I blend this pretty low. Since the, like what we have going up here is so dramatic, I want it to be dramatic on the lower lash line as well. So I'm gonna take my time and blend here. And I'll come back to blend here some more, but I like that purple and contrasting with the green. So over here, we're gonna have this really pretty wine shade. And I'll do the same technique, back and forth blending. These are both pencil brushes from Sigma. So I'm just going to back and forth go over here and just take my time. Okay, so I want to do a shimmer all over the lid, and I want to do a shimmer on the inner corner. So I am going to prime my lids with my Unearthly Cosmetics Glimmer Grasp. I'm still reviewing this, so I want to test it out some more. But on the lid over here, I'm going to go in with this shade Machine. And then for the lid over here, let's do Source. Let's do Source. That's kind of what I was leaning towards. So I'm going to put down the Glimmer Grasp, and then we will kind of like pack this shimmer all over the lid. I think it's going to be so pretty. Okay, so I've got that shade Machine. I'm going to press it on the lid where I put down that Glimmer Grasp. So when I work with like glitter adhesives or sticky eye bases for shimmer shades or anything like that I'm using to get the most out of my sparkly shadows, I like to take the shadow and press, just like I'm doing now. I just press that shadow on top of the primer, and then I'll wait, you know, with my eyes down like this so it can dry. Make sure that I'm not getting any creasing, anything like that. I just want to make sure that the eye base is completely set. And then I'll go back like now, and I'll kind of like start to lightly blend. I just do that because I want the like intensity out of the shimmer sparkly shade. I want it to be nice and opaque, and I want to make sure that I'm not getting creasing. I know creasing is not something that everybody really struggles with their shadows or lasting power, but I do have oily skin. I do have deep set eyes, so I really try to make sure that my shadows and my primers are going to last, and that's just what I found has worked best for me. So yeah, that's enough time, should be good. I'm looking up now, just making sure if I need to do any blending, I can. All right, so I'm applying that Glimmer Grasp. This is a P. Louise brush, and I'm just pressing that Glimmer Grasp right where I want it, like this. Keep on looking down, keep on looking down, picking up that blue on my brush. This is a Sigma Makeup Shayla brush, and I'm just going to press this blue all on top of the primer, just like I did with the green. This brush is a little more flat and dense than the brush I used on the other side. It just means I'm gonna have to dip into the pan a little bit more than I did for the green to make sure I have enough product. And then once it's all pressed on, I'll buff and blend. Okay, I'm absolutely loving how these looks are coming together. I feel so great, and I really want to use inner corner highlight shades. I think we have some really pretty options in this palette. Honestly, I think the matte white would be beautiful on the inner corner. You could mix it with any of these matte shades to create a more pastel, of course, but we have shimmer options. So I think we'll stick with these really pretty shimmers. I think over here where we've got the more blue going on, I want to highlight with this light silver shade called Code. And then over here where we have the green going, I'm going to use the shade Hack. This is what it looks to be a little bit more like of a pinky undertone. So let me find here. This is a Sugar Drizzle brush. So let me go into Hack, that more silvery shade. And I'm not using any special primer or anything on my inner corner. I'm just taking this little brush and pressing. And I think that is perfect. I really, really like that. Very beautiful, very fun, very extra. And here, I'll grab this Odin's Eye brush for this side, and we'll go into that shade Hack. Let me see. Oh, that's so pretty. You can see it definitely has a more like, it's not pink, but it definitely has a more pinky undertone than this silver over here. So essentially, these are the two finished looks. I want to put on eyeliner. I want to put on mascara. I want to pick out a lash. I'm going to see if I need to do any more blending or anything, and then I'll come back and we'll see how the looks come together. But overall, like, I really, y'all, Beauty Bay palettes, they're so good. I know they increased their prices. We're seeing that in a lot of brands. I think it's just the state of the world. You know, Beauty Bay palettes, I want to say a year and a half to 2 years ago, were $15. Natasha Denona, or now the Beauty Bay palettes are $18, so that's a little price increase. I know earlier this year, e.l.f. Cosmetics put out that they were going to be raising their prices, I think by $1 to $2 on everything. Natasha Denona went from like $65 to I think $69 or something like that. So we're seeing this in a lot of brands. I'm sure over the next year or so we're going to see a lot of brands raise their prices. Hopefully not by a whole lot, but I feel like we're going to see brands raise their prices by $5, $10. I mean, I'm not a financial expert, so this is just me like noticing what I'm seeing. But for $18, I think, yeah, let me do liner, let me do lashes, and I'll come back. I'm back. I threw on some black eyeliner and some Kiss Royal Silk lashes, and I have to say I'm really loving the way both of the looks came out. I think they're colorful, they're dramatic. I had an easy time blending everything. I think they look so great. So if you were wondering about this dark fantasy palette, maybe you have some Beauty Bay palettes, you really enjoy them, maybe you've never tried them, I think this is consistent with the formulas that we know and love from Beauty Bay. If you bought their last releases, the ones that were monochromatic, I think it was the Berries, Midnight, was the green like the forest or something? I can't remember. Or the Jade palette that Beauty Bay did. This is that great formula that we know and love. I think the cover is cool and fun. You could even say this is like Halloween-esque. Not like black and orange pumpkins Halloween, but I like the green purple vibes. It's fun. The color story inside, I'm very excited to play with more shades. How many did we play with today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11? Yeah, 11? Is that right? That's not too bad out of 20 shades. Of course, I'm going to keep playing with this. I like this color story. I want to create some light looks as well. Like, I think just putting on like this neutral shade in the crease, maybe buffing out the outer corner with this purple, and then layering one of these more bronzy shades on the lid would be really, really pretty. But yeah, I really like this color story. I really like my eye looks. Let me know, were you interested in in this palette? Did you buy it? Is it on your wish list? Or are you just here to hang out with me? Maybe you can shop your stash, see what you have, recreate these looks if you want to. Hopefully I was able to inspire you. But I hope you're having an awesome day. Make sure you subscribe because I have lots of videos coming, lots of content, lots of video ideas, lots of things I want to talk about. So definitely hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos. Thank you again for hanging out with me, and I will see you next time in a new one. Bye. Hey, I made a mistake. Not bye yet. I want to say what makeup I'm wearing because I will forget. I will forget if I don't say it. JUVIA'S Place Lip Liner in Scorpio. That's what I have on my lips, and I kind of filled in my lips, and then I sheared everything out with this NYX Netflix Fate the WINX Saga Lip Gloss in the shade MUSA. And then for blush and bronzer, I'm wearing my Hourglass Tiger palette. And then for highlight, I'm wearing my Blend Bunny Cosmetics Noctilucent highlighter palette. I love this. I'm wearing Far Out and Phenomena. Okay, now for real. Bye, y'all.